We are going to watch a video of Pearl. I love Pearl. I think that people misunderstand Pearl. I think that she just is tired of other people's shit. And I think that I'm tired of other people's shit too. And that's why I'm a simp for her content. So here we go.
This is kind of full circle because our first debate was on I didn't think that like men cheated that much. And I concede now.
They do.
I concede you were right. Men that can cheat
Yeah,
will. Yeah.
it's it's just crazy how dudes will put on the cape and lie, you know what I mean, and sell girls a dream just so they can continue to get access to her. The things. What I've realized typically, men's sexual strategy is typically directly proportional to their SMV. So, the higher the SMV, the more reckless you can be in how you deal with women. And the lower your SMV, the more calculated and cautious you have to be with women. I'll give you an example. You take someone like Tristan Tate, right? When I was in Romania, this guy's fucking reckless, man. He's like the girls love him, right? And when I say reckless, I mean as in like the girls love him, but he doesn't pay attention, right? He'll have 2 or 3 of his girlfriends hanging out with him while he has a couple side chicks there, etc. And all the girls get in line because they all want him, right? Despite the fact that he's there with a bunch of other women, he's able to do exactly what he wants, and they don't really have any power. And that's directly proportional because to his high SMV, right? Pause. But you take.
Well, yeah, that's because these girls are trying to chase clout, and this person is a famous person, and he has clout. So obviously, that's the way it's going to work. The girls don't have any power. I mean, what are they? They're just like Instagram hungry chicks who want attention, and that's how they get value from themselves. That's how they evaluate themselves am I hanging out with really cool people? Am I doing really cool things on Instagram? And does that make me a cool person? That's how it works.
Take someone who's lower SMV, a guy that isn't that attractive, that doesn't have options. They have to play a lot nicer. They have to sell a dream a bit better. They have to work a lot harder to be able to get the same sexual access.
Yeah, and I got red pilled because there was a guy that came on my show that was like virtue signaling and saying like.
Hold on just a second. I need to figure out what all the pill colors mean. What do all the pill colors mean? This obviously social media. We're gonna learn about this together, guys. All right. So if you're red pilled, or being red pilled, means becoming aware of purported political biases or truths that are supposedly hidden from the mainstream and becoming an independent thinker. Okay, so if you're a red pilled, that means that you don't conform with standardized thought processes that people. Well, let's read the blue pill. Let's figure out what that is. Maybe it's contrasting. It'll give us clarity. Conversely, look at that. Taking the blue pill or being blue pilled means unquestioningly accepting those purported biases and remaining in a state of ignorance. Yeah, I could see that. I know a lot of people, and they just decide that, they're going to see something online and that it's true, and that they're just going to consider it as true, even though they don't kind of look into it and read into it and figure out what it actually means or what actually really did happen, or if somebody's just kind of trolling. It's like people who read the Onion articles and then they're thinking to themselves, yeah, this is true. This checks out. This sounds good. Yeah, okay, we're not going to review it at all. I know that there's other pills. I know there's a black pill. What is a black pill? What does it mean to be black-pilled? Misogynist, incels, and male supremacies. Red pill to black pill. Oh, so they got like little routes you can choose. You can be like, oh, I'm going to go on the red pill to black pill route. I'm going to go on the blue to white pill route. Oh, God, what is a white pill? What does it mean to be white-pilled? Larger matter before that includes red-pilled and blue-pilled. The Matrix. Oh, okay. So this is all okay. That makes sense. Everything's starting to make sense now, you guys. It's a reference to the Matrix music movie, and I'm just an idiot. All right, so here we go. Let's talk about
like men shouldn't cheat. And I found out he was dating like 3 women that had come on the show, and I was like, what the hell? And I was like, wait, Myron was the one being honest, where all these guys are lying, and I was like, holy shit.
It's bad, man. It's really bad. And here's the thing. The reason why is because a lot of guys. Why the hell?
I can see you now.
Yeah, I could see it too. I'm just trying to figure out why my Zoom was acting weird. Okay.
Hello,
I think
chat.
I'm fine now.
How
Is
you
there
guys
a way
doing?
to, if you can make your mic a
I got
little
my
bit
first
louder?
follower today.
They're asking
That's
me
cool.
in my chat. They're saying you're coming in a little bit low.
Let's see.
If you could turn your volume
Yeah,
up.
he's gonna turn it up. Let me see.
Okay.
Try now. Is this better?
I think
my
so.
volumes are all
Chat, she just
fucked up
turned her
all the
mic
time. I
up,
bet y'all
man. So
can't
hopefully you
understand
guys can
anything that's
hear
going
her a
on
bit
right now.
better here. But
Yeah, I have to concede though. You were right. Yeah, like 3 years later, Myron was
appreciate it, man.
correct.
I just have to, I just try to keep it real with as far as like what the hell's going on here with the way guys move and everything else like that. They're always lying.
So I wanted to start with when a guy has a rotation, how many women generally are in it? And what are the categories that like guys will have in their rotation? I gave them before what I've gathered from other guys, and I want you to tell me if I'm right, wrong, or what you would add. So
Okay. So you want me to just tell you what the average guy is running as far as like a rotation goes?
yeah, who can have one? Yeah, like how many girls are in it and how often is he seeing them?
I would say for guys, it depends on the guy's skill level, right? So like most guys can't even get
There's
one
a
girl
skill
in a
gap,
rotation,
guys.
right? But what I've typically found is if a guy has a skill set to get 1 or 2, he can get 5, right?
That's
Just comes
true.
down to like how much does he want to scale his.
Yeah, like after you can get 1 girl, 2 girl, 3 girls, like it just kind of becomes like a process. Once you get your process down, you figure out what works for you, then you can just kind of like re-implement that process over and over again. I mean, that makes total sense. I get it.
His dating, right? For some guys, two is not enough. For other guys, that's a lot, but it really depends on the skill set. So, and how much time the guy has. But I would say if you were to take like an average guy that's, pretty decent with women, he's going to have 1 to 3, somewhere 1 to 3. Anything beyond that really starts to become very cumbersome. So I'll say somewhere in that range. And then he might not.
I don't even want to talk to 1 girl. You're telling me that these guys are out here talking to 3 separate women? That must be exhausting. Where do you find the time? Why do you care? You can just sleep with the 1 girl multiple times. You don't have to go through all this. It's a clout thing. It's like I'm a man and I'm better than you at pulling chicks, and I'm validated and you're not. So now I'm starting to understand how the world works. Good for me. Maybe I should go touch grass, but probably not. I'm not going to do that.
See them every week. He might see, one every week, and then he might see another one every 2 weeks, and then he might see another one once a month or twice a month.
Okay. So what would you say, how can women tell if they're the main girl or a side girl? Because what I found, and I'm sure you found this too when interviewing women, a lot of women think they're in relationships with guys when really they're just a side chick.
Yeah. So this is a good question. This one depends on the guy's means, right? So like what ends up happening, and this happens a lot with girls that get with like guys that got money, like that guy might take him on a trip or he might buy her a gift and she'll think that she's the main girl, but what she doesn't realize is he just has a lot of money and he's just tricking off on all of them. So, I would say for women, if your guy has money,
but why does it matter at that point? Because they're getting exactly what they want and you're getting exactly what you want. It's not like this is new. It's not like this is like a new thing for you guys. So like you're kind of all playing the same game. You're using them for clout and free stuff and free dinners, and they're using you for clout and sex and company and companionship. It's completely transactional. None of these girls are oblivious, and none of the guys are oblivious. It's like we were all turning a blind eye. So why does it care? Why does it matter if you're the side chick or the main chick or whatever chick you are? You're messing around with guys that do this stuff, and then you're upset because like they're doing this stuff. And then guys are messing around with these chicks and they're being clowns as well, and they think that they're like not getting cheated on. And now everybody's so mad whenever they're getting cheated on, but it's like you're all playing the same game with each other, and it's like an unspoken agreement between everybody. And it's actually pretty clownery. Especially it just
Especially suspicious when you get gifts and everything else like that, because that doesn't necessarily mean you're the main girl. But I would say if you're sleeping at his house multiple times a week, that's a pretty safe way to tell that you're the main girl.
So how many times a week would you say makes someone the main girl? I want to see if we have the same answer.
I'm guessing that it's just the most. Like, if you are getting more gifts, spending more time, and having more sex with the dude, then you're the main chick. Because you're getting the majority or the main amount of the attention, and then everyone else is getting, like, whatever's left over. So...
No problem. I would say if you're getting anywhere between 3 to 4 or more, you could at least say you're a main chick. He might have another main chick, but you can at least say you're one of the main chicks.
Yeah, that's what I thought too.
You can have multiple main
What else?
chicks.
Do you have any
that
other?
Doesn't make sense because you don't have multiple main residences, right? Like I have one main residence, and then I might have 2 vacation places that I don't actually officially live. I don't have 2 main residences. Like one of them has to be the state that I pay taxes in, and the other one has to be declared something else. I think that you can only have one main chick, and you can have like a really devoted side chick too.
Advice for how you can tell other than time?
Time is one. Getting gifts is another thing, but like that depends on the guy, right? If the guy's rich, then it has less meaning. What else? I'm trying to think here. Oh, if you have access to like anything, that's like important, like maybe he has a business and you have access to like his credit card billing or something like that, or he has you as an authorized user or something like that. But he's not rich. That could be a way to tell as well. But I'll say like the more access you have, the higher the like.
If he gives you a credit card, ladies, that automatically means you're his main chick. Just so you know, if you can run up his bills without him asking or having any control over it, you're the main chick. So make sure you get that authorized user credit card. That way you can lock it in.
Likelihood, the more access you have on his life, I'll put it that way. The more access you have on his life, the higher the likelihood that you are a main girl.
So in Miami, you must see like a lot of crazy things with side chicks. Have you seen side chicks get like written into the deed, or like side chicks that actually meet the wife?
Yeah, I don't not meet the wife, but I've seen like guys like live like a whole other life, like with their girl, with their side girl, and the main girl never knew about it, and vice versa. So, because the thing is here in Miami, man, is a lot of these guys are tricks, man. So like, what'll happen is like they'll sell the dream. They'll show her a certain lifestyle and she'll fall for it, and she won't even look at some of the red flags. She'll just, she'll pretend like she doesn't see the red flags, right? To kind of have the dream continue going on.
And how long do you see women until they age out of Miami? Like, because I always say the hottest women will go to like A-level cities, I call them, like Vegas.
Oh, so you just migrate depending on your age if you can fit. So you can be like a Miami 10, but like that's like a New York 8 or like an LA 8. And then I guess Miami would be like top tier. People got a lot of money in Miami. It's a bad analogy. So I'm guessing it's more of like you can be like a Miami 6, but be like a Dallas 10. That checks out for sure. So what do you do when you're a Miami 10? You stay in Miami. And then you age 10 years, and now you got to get out of Miami because now you're a Miami 7. So let's go to Dallas, baby, where I can be a 9 again. And it's all comparative. So the moral of the story is don't be ugly.
LA, Miami. How long until they move out, either from a bad decision or they age out?
Good question. Depending on how well she takes care of herself, late 20s to early 30s. What I've noticed with white women, in particular in Miami, is they get out of here sooner.
Yeah.
They get out of here sooner.
And do you see them like getting married usually, or where do you like what happens to them?
They go to Fort Lauderdale.
No way.
They get out of Miami. Like they go to Fort Lauderdale, they go to West Palm Beach, etc. Like the other thing too is it's interesting, but I've noticed it's like they get a lot of hate down here from the Latinas and from the black girls. So white girls that come down here stay for a period of time and then they get the hell out or they move up north. If they're Russian, they go to Sunny Isles. If they're like a regular white chick, they go to Fort Lauderdale.
And why would you?
I wonder, like, what is the amount of Russians in Miami? Are Russian women to Miami? seeking birth tourism in the U.S. What is birth tourism? Some Russian women, along with those from other countries, travel to the U.S., including Miami, to give birth, hoping their children. Oh, thank God. I thought birth tourism was like we don't have enough men in order to impregnate us and repopulate our society, so we're coming to different places to get impregnated. And that's probably because I'm an idiot and a clown.
You say that most men that cheat, they just see it as sex, or like, because I was saying
Yes.
some men cheat for different reasons. Like when they cheat with the nanny and the nanny's ugly, it's like based because usually the wife isn't giving
Accessibility.
him something, so he goes to the nanny. Like Arnold Schwarzenegger, have
Validation.
you seen that?
I did. I think most of the time when guys cheat is just to get something new. That's
Yeah.
really what it comes down to, man. Novelty is literally like every guy's like thing. Everybody wants new pussy, regardless of how
It's
good your
just a
girlfriend
curiosity
is.
thing,
So
man.
that's what I think is the main thing.
Like, honestly, it's like it really is a curiosity thing. It's just all like, man, I wonder what she's like. I wonder what she looks like naked. And I don't think that's exclusive to men. I think women wonder the same thing. Oh, I wonder what he's like. I wonder if he does this or that. Oh, I wonder, he looks adventurous. Or, you know, he would be great to talk about at my next brunch with my girls. It's like a clout thing. Like, I was hanging out with some of my chick friends, and they were just talking about men the whole time. Just guys. Guys they used to date, guys they want to date, guys they're going to date, guys they'd like to date. Plans for their future with guys. And I was like, come on, there's got to be something else here. There's not.
So one of the best things that you told me on the show years ago, I thought you were wrong, but you're right now, was you said it's different, like a different time. And I would say the cutoff is like men over 40 and men under 40, where like they, like some men over 40 don't really know as much about like the social media age. And so, but I'm just wondering, like the men, do you
really
see
clipping the
men,
hell
have
out
you
of this
ever
video,
seen
man.
men not cheat that could? I guess is the question.
Have I ever seen men not cheat that could? Of course, but typically those guys tend to be religious. The guys that I see that don't cheat, that have the capability, 9 out of 10
Hey,
times
hold
they're
on just a
extremely
second.
religious, which is why they're.
I'm not religious at all, and I've had opportunities to cheat that I did not take. Now, granted, I've had opportunities to cheat that I did take. And now I just have to kind of like analyze why that might have been. And I think that's because I'm a weak-minded individual and I'm an idiot.
Their conviction to God keeps them from cheating. That's the only time I've ever seen it.
And do STDs ever become a problem? Like, have you seen that, you know?
For a lot of guys, man, no, unless they're like smashing a bunch of like thoughts raw, like, not really. Not for a lot of guys.
Cardinal sin,
I
by
think
the
for
way.
women,
Don't
man,
do
they're
that.
way more likely to get an STD just because obviously, they're the ones receiving, right? So
Yeah.
I have literally heard stories about people giving other people STDs because it's like a power fuck you kind of thing. What did I say? F you kind of thing. They literally do it on purpose. It's disgusting. By the way, happy Valentine's Day, you guys. Subscribe.
versus
That's
a
what
dude,
I want for Valentine's Day. I want a subscriber. Actually, I don't subscribe. Just follow me. Honestly, I have one follower. So, like, my Valentine's Day has just gone amazingly well. Way better than I could have anticipated.
just wash your D.
Yeah. Well, because that's the biggest thing you hear with women and cheating.
Oh, by the way, washing your D is not a good way to keep yourself from getting an STD. The best way to do that is to A, not have sex in the first place. Yeah, good luck getting people to not do that. And then B is to use protection. Yeah.
It's like they don't want to get an STD. And I was just wondering if, like, because you get so much insight into what's going on in the marketplace, like if that's really a problem with guys that run harems and rotations.
I think it's two things. I think it's a twofold thing. So, yes, they have a valid concern about the STDs for sure, but they just use that as a crux because the reality is they don't like the fact that he's having sex with other women. That's the real reason. Like, because what I've realized is women want higher status men, but they don't want to deal with high status problems. They want to basically be able to have a dude that's like the top tier guy and have him all to himself or have him all to herself without dealing with the consequences of being with someone like that, right? And they kind of want to have this illusion in their mind that they're still the prize. So though they know that their guy has the ability to go out and get other women, and probably does, and they dislike that, instead of saying, well, no, I want you to be monogamous to me because I'm special, they kind of know in the back of their mind that's a ludicrous concept because they're not.
Look, guys, this is the ecosystem. You're playing in this game. This is the game that you wanted to play. You wanted the player. You wanted to be in this game. Obviously, if you're in this game, you're going to have to deal with the BS that comes with it. Look, if you want a guy who's desirable, then he's going to be desired. On the flip side, if you want a girl who's desired, then they're going to be desired. Which means that she can get any guy that she wants, basically. And there's no shortage of that, no matter where you fall on the number scale. As a girl. Like, if you're a 4 or 3 as a girl, you're going to get a lot of DMs. You're going to get a lot of access. You're going to get a lot of opportunity. Because there's a whole sea of 1s and 2s that want to be with you. And about most of them are going to think that they're worth more. But they don't care about that. They just want to smash. They're not trying to take you out to dinner. They're not trying to be seen in public with you. And then those girls want to date people who are higher above their rung, and those guys don't want to touch these girls, and these guys want to date higher. So basically, the only people who are fucking are the 10s, the 8s. They're the only ones who are getting locked down. And then they're having to deal with all this drama and BS. And what he's talking about are the 6s and the 8s that are arguing because, like, the 10 is getting all the attention, and the 10 is the main chick. The 9 is the main chick. And that's because the guy that you want is a 9 or a 10. And so he wants a 9 or a 10. And you can't blame him because you're a 6, a 7, and 8. And you want a 9 and a 10 too. You're not going to settle for the 6, 7, 8 that you are. And then you get older, and then that number drops, but you still think you're a 21-year-old girl. It doesn't make any sense, you guys. Tell me how it makes sense.
They're not special. So they kind of cope and say, oh, well, I don't want any diseases, right? That's how a lot of girls I've noticed kind of deal with the problem is they say, oh, I don't want a lot of diseases. But the reality is I said, then I counter, I say, okay, well, let's assume he used the condom on every other girl. Well, no, I just don't like him doing that. And then you find out what the real problem is. Because I solved for that issue. He used the condom every time. Would you be okay with that? No, I just don't want him fucking other girls. That's really the issue. It's not the STDs like they claim. Yeah. It's the fact that he's hooking up with other women, and they're using the STDs as a justification for why their guy, who is 2, 3, 4 points above them in sexual market value, can't have sex. That's why.
And is it hard for you to see these guys like virtue signal when you know they're lying? Because that you're never gonna like air them out on a podcast. Like you're not gonna do that. But I'm sure you've had guys come on where you see them virtue signaling and you know they're like pandering, about the cheating stuff. Because I'd say that's like one of your most contentious takes, other than like the J stuff.
God, yeah, they hate me for that too. Yeah, no, this is why I don't hang out with blue pill guys. So if you look at like my friends, the guys that I hang out with, that I spend the most time with, whether they're guys on a team or whatever it may be, or creators that like I collab with a lot, whether it's the Tates or the Justin Waller or Sterling or any of these other guys, like they're all red pill aware. And the reason why is because blue pill guys do stupid shit that is just infuriating, right? Whether it's like they try to show off in front of a girl, or they put down their friend in front of a girl to look better, some stupid shit like that. Like, blue pill guys just don't get it. And then they also...
I call those clowns. Those are clowns. And here's the thing, is that you can see right through them. You can see exactly what they're doing. I don't know if the girls can see exactly what they're doing. Maybe they kind of like this little tit-for-tat nonsense garbage. Maybe they do. But... you, as a guy, you see these girls falling for this nonsense, or you see that, I guess in this case, he called them the blue-pilled guy, acting like a fool to impress a girl, or saying something in the comment section, like some kind of thing is original, and then you're reading it and you're like, this is so cringy. Like, obviously this guy doesn't have access to this girl and wants access and is therefore just saying whatever they think will get them access to the girl. And I'm thinking to myself, you look like a simp, dude. Like, is this really the view that you want to be seen as? Anywhere. Anyways.
Will virtue signal and do dumb shit like that, saying, "Oh yeah, women are queens" or whatever, and that shit's very annoying.
Women
and
are
I
human
think
beings.
I think the culture
treat women like human beings. They're human beings.
just kind of caught up to it. Like, we're all tired of this virtue signaling shit. I'll give you the perfect example. Bryce Mitchell made some comment.
And I don't like most human beings, by the way. That wasn't me simping. That wasn't me being blue-pilled. I think that women are human beings, and I don't like most of them, just on principle. They tend to do things and say things and be things that they say they're not and they actually are. There's a lot of confusing things going on, actually.
Comments, right, about a certain guy with a mustache from the 1940s.
Yeah.
And what ended up happening was he went viral all over YouTube for talking about this, right? And a certain event that also occurred in the 1940s. And he went viral. The video got taken down. Dana White called him an idiot, blah, blah, blah. So he goes on a podcast with Rampage and his partner Beard or something like that. Bear, I forget the guy's name. And during the podcast, Bear's trying to, like, virtue signal, saying, yo, you can't be saying stuff like that. That's offensive to a group of people. Mustache Man killed millions upon millions. All this other bullshit. See a bunch of super chat, right? so what ended up happening was he got so much backlash in the YouTube comment section of his own video for trying to tell Bryce what he can and can't say, right? Because not only did he bring Bryce on, he gave him a whole lecture about it. He said, we're not even going to give you the opportunity to explain yourself, blah, 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 all this other bullshit. So they fucking ratioed him into oblivion to the point where they commented on his shit, disliked the video, and he had to take the video down, right? So why do I give this example? I give this example to simply state this. People are tired of being browbeat, right, and virtue signaled to try to look like you got the moral high ground. People are tired of it because we know it's inauthentic. We know it's not authentic. We know that you don't talk like this with your friends behind closed doors. So authenticity is widely respected, right? This is another thing too. Why did Kanye go so viral over the past couple of days, saying a whole bunch of stuff?
Yeah.
Because he decided to post a Super Bowl ad that had some kind of shirt for sale that was very controversial, and he's an asshole for that. And I think that if he knew about the Mustache Man's agenda and prerogative, he would know that he would not be excluded from that gentleman's, no, let's not call him a gentleman, he's an a-hole, activities, his extracurricular activities. He would not be excluded from them.
People respect, people respect authenticity, and they respect people speaking their minds, regardless of how provocative it is, right? So, and I say all that to tie it back. This is why I dislike being around guys that are...
It's better to say something that you mean that people hate than to say something that people like that you don't mean. Authenticity is very important. So go ahead and hop in that chat and tell me exactly how much you hate everything I'm saying, or that you like everything that I'm saying. Also, follow me.
That are virtue signaling, because like you've seen already, when guys say this bullshit about, oh yeah, I'm a feminist or I'm a champion for women, etc., those guys tend to be the worst ones. Those are the ones that are smacking women around. Those are the ones that are cheating. Those are the ones that are doing the fuck shit. So that's why people don't like virtue signalers, because we know it's not real. And society's looking up to it.
I have a theory that the Christian simps are bigger simps than the leftist guys in open relationships. Because at least the leftist, like the Christian simps get cheated on by their wife, and they have to take her back because of God, where the leftist guy, at least he's doing it too.
So, well, okay, so you're saying...
They're both simps, but like I would...
Okay, that just seemed like nonsense. I'm sorry, Pearl, but that didn't make any sense, because I think you just kind of like thought something and said it, which is fine. I do that all the time. But then like, hopefully I can concede on my stupid thoughts. Yeah, so if you commit sin in your marriage, it's almost nearly impossible to come back from that from a religious aspect and standpoint. Now, you can have forgiveness and you can see weakness and stuff like that. Sure, whatever, you can convince yourself of that. But in most circumstances, if you're just like a leftist and you get cheated on and you're also a cheater, then and you're kind of like a simp as well, then you're gonna take the girl back because, like, you know, it's kind of just an even trade. But if you're like a really conservative Christian man and your wife cheats on you, like she has betrayed God in your mind, and that's a problem. And it's not just with the men on women; it's the women with the men too. Like if you're a very devout religious person and like your spouse cheats on you, like they cheated on God, bro. Like how do you come back from that in your religion if you're religious? I am not.
Put the leftist guy above the Christian simps usually.
Okay, so you're saying like a liberal guy, though he's a pussy,
Like,
he still has more awareness of female nature than the Christian guy.
yeah, like take Destiny versus the guy that married Nala. Like who's like Destiny, and I know you're friends with him, it's not a shot at him, but like he was hooking up with like Lauren Southern, he was like hooking up with all these women that were pretty attractive, where like the guy that marries Nala is stuck to a porn star forever.
Yeah, I mean, you could
Yeah.
you know, that's an interesting argument you make. You know, some guys play what I call liberal game, right? And what I mean by that is like they'll play this social justice warrior, this I'm a champ, I'm a fighter and advocate for women's rights, etc. And the only guys that get away with doing that properly are guys that look very good, no pause, or guys that are famous, right? I'll give you a perfect example right now. You take someone like Hassan Piker, right?
Yeah.
A lot of people remember 10 years ago plus he was doing like frat bro videos on how to pick up girls in college, right? Yeah, he did. Yeah. He doesn't like to talk about it, but he has a bunch of old videos where he's like literally doing like frat bro, you know, red pill light videos on how to be attractive to women. So he obviously has a concept and understands what it takes to be arousing and attractive to women, right? And then, but now he's like, you know, a socialist leftist, whatever. But the thing is that a guy like him can have a pussy mindset like that because deep down he still understands, you know, the red pill to a degree where he still has to show some type of dark triad traits to be attractive. And then on top of that, right, besides that,
triad traits. I hear about this shit all the time. Let's go ahead and figure out what the we even talking about for dark triad traits. Okay, let's figure it out. Dark triad traits. Machiavellianism, narcissism, and psychopathy. Okay. Machiavellianism, a tendency towards manipulation, self-interest, and exploitation of others. So putting yourself before others, or, you know, it being your time. Being willing to do evil things to other people in order to get what you want out of them. It's like less of a remorse thing. Sounds narcissistic. Narcissism is the next one. So like hopefully you have all three if you want to be a total triad of a piece of shit. A sense of grandiosity, egotism, and self-orientation. Okay. Extreme vanity, self-absorption, arrogance, and entitlement. Oh, I think I might know some narcissists. A chronic need to be fulfilling. Look at me like self-diagnosing other people. Psychopathy, impulsivity, antisocial behavior, and a lack of empathy and remorse. Characteristics of the dark triad: socially aversive personalities, disregard for moral norms. That sounds like me. I do not care about any moral norms. I do what I think is moral, and I do not care what other people think. Tendency towards deception, self-promotion, and aggressiveness. I don't know. Maybe I am a little bit of a narcissist. I don't know. Maybe. Probably not, though. People with dark triad traits may be charismatic and charming and may occupy powerful positions in society. Yeah, I mean, that's where you're going to gravitate towards. I'm a firm believer that people kind of gravitate towards things that give them access to the things that they want. For example, like people who like child abusers, let's just say that, tend to go for roles that give them access to children. So if you look and you're like, for example, what's an industry? So the church, the Catholic priests, like misconceived thing that they're evil, or that Catholic priests are pedos or whatever. So I don't think that's necessarily true. I just think that if you're a pedo, that's like, you want to become a Catholic priest. It gives you access, it gives you power, it gives you authority, and also, if you're a narcissist, you might want to be a priest too. It has nothing to do with children, other than, you just have power, authority, grandiosity. You think you're better than others. So I mean, it's creepy. Don't get me wrong, but it makes sense, right? I mean,
awareness that he has.
It makes sense.
He also is famous and rich. So he's going to be able to get away with doing certain beta behaviors that other guys will never be able to get away with, because he's rich and famous. So girls are going to, give him a pass on shit that other guys wouldn't be able to get. So you're always able to get away with more as a guy, the better you look and the more money and status you have, right? So like, women are going to be more tolerant of your stupidity when you have things in place. You can make more mistakes, in other words.
Yeah. Totally agree. I think that
Now,
is exactly
Destiny
how it works. What is with autoplay going on here? I think that's exactly how that works. And honestly, I think that if you want to play stupid games, you're going to win stupid prizes with regards to hanging out with losers. And you may think that they're really cool, and they may have clout, and they may have a YouTube presence, or they may have a bunch of followers on Instagram, or they may have access to cool things, or they may have a lot of money. And if you go after people because of those things, expect them to know that, and expect them to treat you accordingly. So just don't be surprised whenever something like that happens, and don't be surprised whenever it sucks for you. Don't be surprised when things suck for you.